Hello, students. How are you? I This video is recorded for Tuesday, the 17th, not really Monday. So let me fix that very quick. Okay, so if you're period 1 or 4, you should be watching this video. Well, all of you will watch the video for on Delta Math. I'm sorry, on Delta Math for 20 point. But let me show you exactly what I'm going over today, and then I'll jump right ahead because I don't want to take extra time on the video talking. So first, we will continue with section 3. This is section 4, topic 5 now, composition of transformation. This is an essential topic. That's why I decided to go over it, even though everybody was supposed to be watching the video Monday. And not everyone watched the Math Nation video. I know they're not the easiest. However, you need at least to know or have an idea what a composition of transformation is, because 90% of your next test is on composition of transformation. Homework 6 is on the same concept to really know nothing new. Okay, this homework is due Tuesday night. You need to submit a screenshot, smart score that has your name. So when you submit a screenshot, I've noticed that some people are submitting a screenshot only of the score. Well, you should have your name, the score, and what is the skill that you're practicing. So just take a picture of the entire screen. Okay, take it with your phone, take it with your a screenshot from your computer. Just take a screenshot of the entire screen so I'm able to see what skill did you get 80 or higher, and your name and your score. If you got a medal, I know some of you are submitting that pictures too. That works fine. Okay. So I have noticed that some of you are not completing the IXL homework. We're getting below 50. Remember, the minimum to get at least a D is 50. Okay. So remember to do the IXL 50 or above, 80 to get full score, and then anything above that is extra credit. And if there's 2 skills, 2 screenshots. If there's 1 skill, 1 screenshot. Check the most recent grades that I submitted. Assignment number 9, which is quiz 1, that was assigned last Tuesday, which was a week ago. Sadly, only 65 people did this out of 120 people, which means that slightly above half of you did that quiz. So I'm extending the deadline until this Friday, the 20th, but everybody submits this week will get 1 letter grade off, to be fair to those 65 people who actually submitted on time. This video will be posted to Delta Math. You must watch 100% of that video. And to expedite grading, please show a screenshot of your after you complete watching the video where it says 100%. That becomes easier for me to give you a grade right away. So that's what I'm going over today. Now, the lesson is quizzes lesson. So let me show you where that is. So for some reason I had it open. I'm not sure what happened. All right, it's this one right there. And let me do this, and this. Here. Okay, we already, let me share that tab. Okay, so this would be assignment 20 on math on Google Classroom. So there will be 2 assignments to complete today, Tuesday the 17th. One assignment is the Delta Math video, which I'm recording right now. Assignment 2 would be assignment 20, which would be the quizzes link as you are watching the video. You have done this before. I just wasn't able to continue recording. I was not feeling well. That's why I assigned the Math Nation videos instead. So composition of transformation part 2. Again, as I mentioned, this is very, very important topic. So before I get started or jump into any examples, what is a composition of transformation? A composition of transformation is carrying out multiple transformations in order to map a polygon onto itself. So we do rotation, then reflection, translation, then dilation, and so on. So it's multiple transformation. It has to be two or more in order to carry a polygon back onto itself. So let's take a look at this. This is nothing more than just a set of examples that I'm going over here in on the video, and I'm showing you how to carry on multiple transformation. Okay, it's tricky. One transformation, it gets one prime. Two transformation means two primes. So it says quadrilateral WXYZ is shown with the vertices, and I'm going to show the picture. Reflect the quadrilateral over y equal to x, which the line is drawn in the picture for you. Then apply the transformation. X is x and y is y plus 1 to quadrilateral w prime, x prime, y prime, z prime, and then draw the quadrilateral double primes on the coordinate grid. Two transformation. The first one is a reflection over the y equal to x. The second one is a translation. Activate my word paint extension. So in this case, when you're having, so this right here is y equal to x. Okay, and if you remember, when you do a reflection over y equal to x, we, let me make this a little bigger so that you all can see it. When I do a reflection over y equal to x, it means that, if you remember the formula, it means that your x and y are just swapped, so it becomes yx, no change in their signs. You are required to remember all the transformations formulas, okay? Use whatever trick you have to remember them. I showed mine. If it doesn't work for you and you have other ways to memorize them, please do that. These formulas are not given to you in any of the tests at all. So in order for me to find out, and then we do a second transformation, which is the translation, okay? The x and y plus 1. So in order to get prime, just a single prime, we'll do one transformation, which is the first one. And then in order to do the second prime, double prime, we'll take the first prime that we found and then do that second prime. Okay, to make more sense, let's type in each one of these. So y is -2 and 2. X is -2 and 6, even though they are given, but I can't really see them. W is -3 and 5. -3 and 5. Z is -3 and 3. And 3. Okay, I'm going to reflect over this. When you reflect, again, I said just swap the x and the y. Swap the x and the y. So I'm going to do W prime. Let's just start somewhere here. W prime swap. Okay, so it'll be 5, -3. It'll be 5, -3. I'm going to go down. I'm going to do x prime is 6, -2. Again, I'm swapping, no change in the sign at all. Then I'm going to do y prime, and that would be 2, -2. And then I'm going to do z prime, which is 3, -3. Z prime, which will be 3 and -3. Now I'm going to do the second transformation, and the second transformation would be something like, the second transformation, when it happens, we no longer use the first figure. We now use the prime figure, okay, in order to find the double prime. Okay, so this is a double prime figure. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the double prime figure. Transform this. So the second transform was just a translation. No change in the x, but the y was translated 1 unit up. 1 unit up. So no change in the y. So 5 here will remain 5, but we will add 1 to the -3. We'll add 1 to the -3, so we get -2. All right, and then we do x double prime. Again, I remind you, when you're doing a double prime, we're transforming the prime. We're transforming the prime. Okay, so I get w would equal to 5 and -2. Again, okay, that's not right. I didn't mean to do all of this. I just wanted to erase. Undo, undo. Okay, so something just, they all disappeared. So let me show you how it looks exactly on my end. So which one was I was doing this? So let's go back here. Let me share that one, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So so here's the answer down. The single primes were 5 and -3. So again, I'm only swapping each of the original one that were given. So you can tell the first, like W says -3 and 5, W prime is 5 and -3. So they're only swapped. I did that part right there. Now the second part, the double prime, would be adding 1 to the y's, okay, and just keep the x's the same because the translation is just says x, which means no change in the x. Okay, and then so we got the double prime. The point here is to remember when you're doing the double the transformation, then we do the first one will transform, then the transform will be transformed again. Okay, so we do the translation of the prime figure, not the regular figure. We get the double prime. Okay, and then we just made a nice picture of it here. Okay, so let's just go back to the quizzes and type in the answer. I think that might be the easiest way to show this. And share here, and let's type the answer here. So I think I wrote them somewhere. I didn't. I didn't write them down. So, but I already showed them to you. So W double prime would be 5 -3, and then 5 -2. Then I have 6 -1, 2 -1, and 3 -2. These are the final answer double prime. Okay, so I'm just, so it would be 5 -2, and then we have 6 -1, and then we have 2 -1, and 3 -2. Those are the 4 double prime ones. All right, next would be similar situation. So it says the same thing, but now we're going to first apply the transformation x and y plus 1 to the quadrilateral wxyz, and then reflect it over y equals x. So we're going to do opposite transformation. Okay, so first we do the translation, then we do the reflection. Which figure should we get into? Which figure should we get into? So I'm going to take 1 point as an example. Let me just make this a little bigger and maybe a brighter color so that, yeah, it is actually seen on this really dark background. So I'm going to take 1 point, which is like W equal, let's take the first one. All right. So W is -3 and 5. I'm going to transform this according to their transformation. First one is we're going to do the translation, the x and the y plus 1. So W prime, no change in the x, so it becomes -3. But the y, we're going to add 1. So to add 1 to 5, it becomes 6. Then I'm going to do the second transformation, which is the reflection. Let me this. I was actually going outside. That's right. And I'll do it down here. Then I'm going to do W double prime and then reflect over y equal to x, which means that we swap the x and y, no change in the signs. So it will be 6, -3. So which one of these give me a W that has 6 and -3? Is it the first figure or the second figure? So W is actually this point right here and that point right there. So let me switch to this. So it would be this point right there where my X is, and that point is where my, I'm sorry, W is. So W here is actually 4 and down -3. So this is 4 and -3. But here it is 3 and down 2, which is really none of the ones I get. Oh, sorry, this is Z. All right, let's go. Where is the? It's the other one. That point today. Well, this is our here, and it's that one right there. Sorry, it's the other one. So look at this. It's 5 and -2. So this is 5 and -2. And that one right here is 6 and -3. So here, W prime is giving me 6 and -3. So our answer should be the second answer. This should be the correct answer. Just like that. All right, let's take a look at this. This says, consider the following information. A pre-image of SPOT with this coordinate. So pre-image means the original image. If we reflect SPOT over the x-axis, then rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin, what is the coordinates of SPOT double prime? Write the answer in each space provided. So in this case right here is that we're trying to find each one of these. So we're going to carry the transformation algebraically instead of carrying it geometrically. So these are the original figures, they're all given. In order to first reflect over the x-axis, what happened to our coordinates? Reflection over the x-axis, if you remember from the reflection lesson, is we change the, let's do something darker. Let's see. We change the y, but we keep the x the same. So it would be x. So it would be x negative y. So we don't change, we don't swap or anything. We keep the x the same and we change the y. Remember, I told you, we always keep the coordinate that matches the axis of reflection. So since it's x, we keep x. If it's y, we keep y. And then rotate counterclockwise about the origin. So let's first finish this. So this means that all your y's just change in the sign. Remember, negative means flip the sign. Negative means flip the sign. So it's 7, -2. And then here is 0. And I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, here we go. I think I'm able to run back and forth. Okay, 0 and -9. And then here, your x remains the same, but your y changes in sign, becomes positive. X remains the same, the y changes in sign, becomes positive. Remember, negative means flip your sign. Now, the S double prime would be the second route, which is a rotation 90-degree counterclockwise. When you rotate 90-degree counterclockwise, your rotation rule is -yx. And I'll write it down here. -y, x. -yx, meaning we flip the coordinates and change the sign of the y. Flip the coordinate and change the sign of the y. So it becomes -2 and 7. The other way around. Change the sign first, then flip the coordinates. So the -2 will become +2, and then I flip them, and then I flip them. So I get 2 and 7. We only change the sign of the y only, which is in this case -2, -9, 5, and 12. Okay, so it would be 9 here, and 0, no change in that. And then here will be -5 and -6, no change in the x. Okay, and this would be -12 and +1. Always remember to always remember to do this flip the sign first of the y, then flip your numbers. Flip the sign, then the number. The sign, then the number. The sign, then the numbers. All right. So I think we got this down. Now let's move on. Let's clear that. So it says if you take the double primes and dilate by a scale factor of 3, so this scale factor right here is greater than 1. This is a big scale factor. This is scale factor greater than 1, which means there is an enlargement in our figure. Center at the origin, what are the coordinates of the triple prime? So that's a third transformation. So if I go back really quick in that one right here, when I'm trying to dilate, which one do I dilate? Original, prefigure, first prime, double prime. Actually, we're going to have to dilate the double prime, which is this right here. This is what I have to dilate. Okay, because the question is asking for triple prime. Okay, so let's see. In the, let's go, I erased them. Well, it's okay, I have them written down here. So if it's 2 and 7, so S prime, S double prime was 2 and 7. So if I delete this by 3, that means I'm going to multiply the x by 3 and multiply the y by 3. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then 7 times 3 is 21. So S triple prime should be 6 and 21. 6 and 21. Now let's do P. I'm just going to show 2 of them. So B double prime was 9 and 0. So means B triple prime is 9 times 3 is 27. And then 0 times anything is 0. Don't worry about it. Okay? So it would be 0 and 27 and 0. Okay? So we can see that the answer is the first option, but you understand what it means triple prime. Triple prime means go back to the second prime and see how you dilate it. And if it says single prime, then you go back to the original figure and try to do that. So that's really where I'm trying to embrace as much as possible. All right, so clear that completely. This particular question is in your next test, so please be careful as you're working on it. It says line segment RS has endpoint R equal to -2 and 4, S is equal to -4 and -1. Line segment R double prime, S double prime, it has these coordinates. That means there's 2 transformation because there's double prime. Name the transformation that map the line RS line segment into R double prime, S double prime. Now, you see we have 4 different transformations. Sadly, there's nothing we can do other than carry each of the transformation and see which one will get us from -2, 4 to 3, -3. Let's try the first one. It says a reflection over the line equal to y equal to x and followed by translation. So I think in this particular here reflection of that, so R right here, so in this case R would be, so R is -2 and 4. So apply the first transformation to get R prime reflection over y equal to x, which means that we flip the y and the x, it's yx. So it would be 4 and -2, no change in the sign at all. Okay, now let's do the double prime. Double prime means add 1 to each dx and y. It's a translation. So 4 plus 1 is 5. -2 plus 1 is -1. It really didn't get me this. So this can't be the answer. And then we'll move to the next one, which is the rotation. Rotation 180 degree means that R is -2 and 4. The rotation 180 degrees, you are flipping the sign and no change in the position where X and Y is. Meaning that it becomes -2 and -2 becomes +2, and then 4 becomes -4. Change in the signs only, the -x, -y. Then R triple prime, we add 1 because the translation says 1, 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. -4 plus 1 is -3. Is that 3 and -3? Yes. So that's it. So the answer should be B. But in these kind of problems, you should carry the same transformation also for S. You should carry the same transformation for S and see if it's going to get you 5 and 2. And why am I saying that? Because the transformation can only work for a point and not work for the other, so that would become a wrong answer. Okay? In this case, I know for fact is B, but in a test case, you have to make sure you carry the transformation for each of the points. All right, let me clear that. Clear. ABC is reflected over x-axis, then over the y-axis to form ABC double prime. Again, two reflection, x then y. Which one shows the basic formula? So this one will be reflected over the x-axis. Is it x-axis first? It says x then y. So when it reflects over the x-axis, then the image goes here, right? So the triangle will be roughly in this area, not sure where. Then it reflects over the y-axis, so it becomes here. Okay, they're asking you to define a formula. So in here, in the fourth quadrant, the double prime, we see that the x and y, both of them are negative. So no matter what we read, we will get -x and we will get -y, right? What happened when we moved to that first quadrant? Again, we moved a reflection over x, so we became in the second quadrant. A reflection over y, we came in the first quadrant. So what happened is your x and y change in their signs, but actually no change in the position. You still have x and you still have y. So this is a positive x and positive y. That is your formula. Now, because you're going from the not prime to the double prime, so I'm just going to write that one first. So it'll be xy becomes -x, -y. And that's it. So the answer should be -3, -x, -y, the third option. All right, I think this might be my last question. I hope this is not a long video. All right, parallelogram ABCD pictures, and it is rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin, then translated according to the rule +1 plus y. So a good rule of thumb when these questions, because they all, as you can see, they all look geometric. You can take that figure and completely apply two of those transformations. First rotate it, then do the translation. When you rotate a 90 degree, it's actually gonna, because the rotation is a 90 degree counterclockwise, so actually you're here. And then you're gonna translate one unit. So eventually you'll end up in that quadrant right there. So just by looking at the examples that I have, I can already eliminate the last two options because I know for sure my question must be either second or first option. Okay, so I can probably cross that and cross this. So these two options you can also eliminate from them. That first option right here has no change in the orientation. You can probably see no change in the orientation. So a nice guess, our answer should be the first one, because when there is a change in the orientation, meaning there's a rotation 90 or 270, it's a change in orientation. That means the figure has to look like sideways, like these, like that side right here. So just by looking, this might be our answer. But to be sure, let's carry a transformation at least for one of the coordinates. So 90 counterclockwise and translation +1 +1. Let's take A as an example. So A is 2 and 2. Let's first rotate A. 90-degree counterclockwise. 90-degree counterclockwise rotation should be change in the x and no change in the y. So that means your y will remain the same, the x will flip to be a negative, and you'll have swap in the position. So it'll be -2 and 2. Write it here. Y and negative x. Then we do a +1 + 1, the translation. So a double prime should be -2 + 1 will be -1. 2 + 1 is 3. So a double prime should be -1 and 3. -1 and 3 is actually here. That's a double prime. Right there. B should be somewhere up there, and then it's going to look like, I think, smaller, if I'm not mistaken. So this is A right there. So it's going to look like that because this is smaller, and then it's going to look up a little bit, and then that one there, and then there and there. You can keep going with the transformation. There is no need to do all of them because we have already narrowed down all that choices. So let's take a look. This one right here, probably can see it's the one I'm looking for. That one, A, right there, is at 1. The picture is really, really small. At 1 and up 1, 2, 3. This is 1 and up 3. That's the A prime here. And then here is also 1 and up 3. So we still didn't have a winner. So we need to find B. Is B going to be here or is it going to be here? Let's do B. And B is 4 and 4. So it's the same exact way. We carry it the same way. So B is 4 and 4. Rotate B, B prime. So it will be 4 and -4. And then B double prime. Add the 1s. So we get 5 and negative. We add 1, we get -3. So which one is giving you a 5 and -3? So again, if A is here, then B should be 5, -3. So B should be 5. It's 4 and up 4. You swap them. Yx. So it's -4. Sorry, I did this wrong. I think I'm in a rush. It's -4 and +4. So this just makes this the swap. So it would be -4 and 4. That's B prime. And then B double prime is add 1, so we get -3. And then add 1, we get 5. So it's -3 and 5. -3 and up 5. And then this one was here, 1 and 3. So it's right there. So let's see which one's going to give us a B prime of -3 and 5. What happened to my mouse? This one right here has a B of -3 and up 5. So the answer is A. Okay, so again, the choices and the things like that have become a little tricky, but this is really how to carry. There is no easy way for it other than eliminating answers or be really careful with your signs. Understand exactly what you're doing. I think out of the 14 questions on that test, there are at least 5 of them. There are just multiple transformation at once. This is it. I am done. And let me just stop go back to where the meet is. I just want to let you know that, I remember we talked about your grades in the first 9 weeks, and I said if you earned an F, it's not a big deal, but if you earn an F again, it becomes a bigger deal, because 2F now you're so behind to pass your geometry course. And again, as I mentioned, we have not waived UC, and the semester exam wasn't waived either. So we're still responsible to take both in order to graduate from that course. So look up for your grade. I'm doing everything I can, but you aren't. Okay, at this time, I will let you all go. Have a good day. Don't forget, you must finish this lesson with the link and the homework. So watch the video, 100% of it, submit a screenshot, The link, if you already did the link, it's good. It's going to grade itself. And then the homework is due Tuesday night. Okay? Have a great day. Bye bye.